What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Today we're going to be reviewing Monoxide's brand new album, the Chainsmoker 2, or just Chainsmoker 2, if you will. This album right here is actually really fucking good. I went into this with zero expectations. I'm one of those juggalos who thought that the first one was just okay. I never really had the, oh, it's awful, it's terrible. I never had a, oh, it's amazing, it's great. And going into this then, it was kind of like, you know, I'm not going to expect too much. If you don't know the circumstances of the first one coming out, Monoxide actually recently, a couple of years ago, I think, within the last 2 years, told the story of how the first one came out. He owed child support. He went to Alex Abyss, said he needed to have like, I think $40,000. Alex said, can you record an album? And Chainsmoker was the result. It was literally like recorded and released, I think he said, in like 2 weeks' time. So understandably, that one didn't really hit with a lot of people. Again, for me, it's an okay album. It's not one I visit a whole lot or revisit a whole lot. So again, going into Chainsmoker 2, my expectations were super duper low. And Monoxide fucking blew them away. So let's jump right the fuck into it. I will be talking about the deluxe version only. I don't have a physical copy. I was one of those guys that was going to wait until I heard the album before I bought it. That is what I did. The day that I finally listened to it and was like, okay, this is good, I'll probably go ahead and get the deluxe. It was sold out. Now, obviously, they still have the standard version, but the version I've been listening to is the deluxe version. That is what they put on streaming. That is what you can listen to if you have streaming. If you go look on YouTube right now, Monoxide Topic, it's the deluxe version. I haven't even heard the solo songs that he put out. If you don't know the difference between the two, the standard and the deluxe, there's 5 songs, and when you listen to it on streaming again, you're hearing the deluxe version. There are 5 songs on there that on the standard version, there is no guests. Those songs are Smoke Train, Not Normal, Anxiety, Night They All Died, and what was the other one? There was 5 of them. Fuck, I don't remember what the 5th one was. Smoke Train, Not Normal, Anxiety. Oh, Baddest Motherfucker Alive, BMA. Those were the 5 songs. I have not heard just Mono's versions. So I will not be talking about those here and now because obviously I haven't heard them. And I honestly feel like because what is available to everybody is the deluxe version, for whatever weird reason, that's the one that everyone can hear. That is the one that I'm basically going to talk about. I do think they should have put the standard version on streaming, and if you wanted to hear the guests, then you had to get the deluxe. And the only way to get the deluxe was to get the physical CD. I feel like that probably would have, I mean, obviously they sold out of the deluxe version, so whatever marketing they decided to go with, it worked. I feel like the pouch is probably the biggest reason why people got it and them limiting it to 1,000. I do know when you go to the mnestore.com, to that, it actually says notify me when available. So I don't know if they're planning to repress more. I'm kind of hoping so. I almost went to the Magic Ninja Australia site. They were selling the deluxe version for days after, but it was going to be like $50. Like the sell price was $50. I didn't even look at shipping. I was like, there's no fucking way. Because you can honestly get that kind of off of eBay right now because people are reselling their deluxe versions now that it is sold out. So hopefully they do a repress. If they don't ever do a repress, then I don't know if I'll ever pick this up physically because I don't really want to have the standard version because the deluxe version I've been listening to is the deluxe version that I like. Obviously, I could probably just buy the 5 songs digitally, buy the physical standard version, and maybe burn a disc to put. There's ways I could go around it. But for now, my mentality is if they don't repress it, I wasn't meant to have it. And that's just where I'm going with it. So let's jump into the fucking tracks. The track list is Intro, Fuck Around and Find Out, labeled FAFO, Blown Away, I See Everybody Dead, You Said It, Smoke Train, Not Normal, Is That You, Anxiety, Bad Medicine, BMA, which is Baddest Motherfucker Alive, Night They All Died, and Turn the Lights Off. Packed full. Where do we jump into? Let's just jump into our top 5 songs. My top 5 favorite songs on here are Fuck Around and Find Out, Smoke Train, Not Normal, Anxiety, and Turn the Lights Off. Those are my 5 favorites, with my favorite out of those being Anxiety. Now, Anxiety gets this, for one, the chorus is a nice little earworm that has drilled its way into my head. I've often woken up and just wave and wave anxiety. I've just woken up with that in my head. For me, what really makes this so great, Boondocks stole the fucking song. His verse starts and he's
from the surface slowly fading. I don't think I'm gonna make it, reaching forward, but I'm sinking.
And then he starts rapping. To me, that was like, woo! That was fucking killer. To me, it was kind of like it was almost like he was writing in a journal, you know, like a diary. And then he's like just addressing it and he's just letting his emotion out. And the way that they did it, right? So he's rapping and then they took his voice and kind of, I'm pretty sure it's his, they distorted it to where it's like that. It almost for a minute sounded like Monoxide. And that had me thinking, like, if they had Monoxide rap Boondocks' verse as well as Boondocks do it and then they layered them together, that would have been fucking cool. And I'm not sure if that's what they did because it kind of sounds like Monoxide, but I'm pretty sure it's Boondocks, the way that they layered those vocals. It kind of made me, it almost kind of made me think like what they could have done for this, because there is the double versions. What they should have done is had Monoxide rap the guests' verses and then layer it behind them rapping it. That would have been pretty cool. I think that would have been really cool. A fun way to kind of take a solo album and still have him be like solo, but with these guests. I don't know, like, that's just the thought process I had. Like, that would be really, honestly, kind of cool. Have Monoxide do the backing vocals for his guests. That would have been cool, I think. But yeah, Boondocks really fucking stole it. Obviously, James Garcia came in and killed it. One thing I didn't do at the beginning of this that I was going to do, I should have done. Maybe I'll just do it right now and edit it. I don't know. But one thing before we start the review, fuck that intro. First of all, when Chainsmoker 2 came out, I was sick. So when he broke into that coughing fit, I was like, man, fuck you. That hurts. That hurts to hear it because I was coughing and I was feeling that shit. What I will say about the intro, I like it. I get it. It's funny. And to me, it's almost kind of symbolic because it's the original intro from the first Chainsmoker, but obviously added because he has that coughing fit. I feel like the coughing fit is a little bit extra. I feel like having I feel like that was a little bit just too much extra. I think they could have simplified it a little bit more. One thing before we start the record, long live the, he goes into his little coughing fit. Long live the Chainsmoker. To me, that would have been a little bit simpler. To me, the reason I like that intro, and I think it is kind of symbolic to the original one. Obviously, this album comes 20 years after the first one came out. So it's a big callback to the first one, but it's almost like a statement of 20 years of being a chain smoker. This is what it would do to your lungs. This is how fucked up your health would be, right? And obviously there's super symbolism there with him having the extravagant cough, for him telling Fritz to turn up the oxygen. You know, I don't know. I see the silliness they were going for, and I feel like I would have felt it better if the initial cough wasn't so over the top. Because that cough was rough, and it made me just kind of go, fuck you, fuck you, kind of. It was like a bronchitis type cough. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't know. It's an okay intro, but I find myself skipping it once it goes into that cough. I'm like, man, let's just get into the album. I feel like they could have shortened it a lot more. Maybe the cough didn't need to be so extra. But I do get it. To me, it's like saying 20 years of chain smoking is going to do this to you. So maybe it's a way of like not glorifying chain smoking. Which, you know, Monoxide doesn't even smoke cigarettes anymore. He mainly vapes. So, but yeah, Smoke Train is one of my other favorite tracks on here. Absolutely fucking great. Joe Black fucking killed it, man. I was surprised to see just Joe Black and not a la Zulu. Of course, I think there's a lot of speculation right now if their contract with M&E is about to expire, if they're planning to resign, if they're going to go solo. I wholeheartedly think they're going to go solo, but seeing a feature with Joe Black, it tells me that if they do part ways, it's what's the word? I don't know the fucking word. I was going to say it's like, I don't know the word. It's still early in the morning and I can't use big words. But I think it would be like a mutual understanding, and I think they would leave with respect still for each other. You know what I mean? Like, hey, fulfill my contractual duties here. We're going to go do our thing now. Kind of how, Twisted did when they left Psychopathic Records. They left and went and did their own thing, and I think that's ultimately been the goal for Zool all along, is to do Long Live Evil, and they've got Long Live Evil going now, and they're doing great. I don't think there's really much more M&E can totally offer them. So, but seeing this feature, it made me recognize, hey, things are still good. You know what I mean? There's not any animosity there. It's just they want to go do their own thing. And I want to talk about the fucking closing track. I think it's really great. Twisted has always been really good at more of the heartfelt kind of songs. It's some of the shit they've done that always stands out to me. The emo, I guess, is what the haters like to say. But Turn the Lights Off is a really great track. Really great closer to it. There is 2 skits on here. I didn't really talk about them. Bringing up the haters again, I'm sure there was mad hating, and I didn't even see it, which I wasn't really looking for it, but I imagine if you go back and look, there's probably somebody that was talking shit or speculating or stirring up drama. They're out there. Is That You is one of the skits, and I'm sure that there was somebody out there making some kind of a reference or bringing up Carnival of Carnage. It's a skit. It's essentially the drive-through skit from the first Chainsmoker, just reimagined. In the original drive-through skit, Monoxide goes through a drive-through. The fucking guy on the intercom says, "This is drive-through, you can't smoke, even though you're in your own car," which, let's talk about crazy fucking foreshadowing that was, because now you literally can't drive. You can't go through a drive-through and smoke because you're in the state of Indiana. Let me clarify that. In the state of Indiana, you cannot smoke a cigarette within 8 feet of the entrance, and that includes drive-throughs. So that drive-through skit from the first Chainsmoker, excellent foreshadowing, at least for the state of Indiana. But yeah, Is That You? Basically, Monoxide's going to a homie's house. He was tailed by the cops, and as he's coming up to the door, the cops like pull up, and then they come up. He pulls out this vape pen, and they fucking tase him, which, again, foreshadowing. You jump back to that, which is not really foreshadowing, because obviously there was police brutality going on back then still, or already. But we've had a lot worse cases now of police brutality where they would mistake somebody for having a weapon and just impulsively act. So, I think that definitely brings that up as well again. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's really all I got to say about the album. Again, a really great fucking effort from Monoxide. I think this was his way of, I don't want to say undoing the first Chainsmoker, because I don't think he has any regrets. I don't think he has any disappointments about that album. I think this is just his way of putting in a good effort on a solo. Because obviously the first one was a super mad rush job, kind of last minute thrown together thing just so that he can, get some child support paid. But I think it paid off, because this album is really fucking great, and I will definitely be continuing to bump this throughout the year. And I think this is going to be easily a top contender in my top 10 albums of 2024. So if you've heard the album, tell me down below what you liked about the album. And if you didn't like the album, tell me down below what you didn't like about it. Remember to be respectful. Don't be a dick. Don't be a hater. There's too much of that shit in the fucking community as it is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.